giants
People who came from the
in
sky.
the sky. Yeah.
What's up, man?
What up, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. How about yourself?
Been pretty good. Welcome to the Men of Letters, y'all. What up? Welcome in. We are a little late. It's all good. We were talking offline about family stuff and what's coming up. Rashad's going through what I would call, I don't know what the kids would call. He's going through the hell week of traveling. But you're coming here. I didn't think about it. You're coming. Yeah, so you're coming here, like basically, and then you're going to Alabama. Then you're coming here. Then you're going to Chicago. Then you're going to Alabama.
Yeah.
On top of your travel.
Yeah. And I don't think mom and dad are watching yet, but they don't even know I'm coming there yet. So, yeah.
Well, they didn't. I don't know. Well, anyways, welcome to the Men of Letters.
Welcome to the Men of Letters.
Anyways,
but no, it's hell week. Then I travel for work too, so it's just like, dude, man, and I'm running out of money. My bathroom, I had to get that redone. That's $4,400 out of pocket. So I ain't got it. So yeah. I don't know where this traveling money is gonna come from, but we'll figure it out.
I was looking forward to getting my porch stairs redone, and we're thinking like $500 just to get the stairs.
No. For house shit? No. How about
Lauren, the lowest bid we got was $2K, which isn't bad, but we're just like, dang, we're looking for it. And the real thing we're doing ourselves, I'm like looking at it like, man, I'm really trying to do this by myself. Like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Time is money, baby, bro. Time is money, man. So yeah, I mean, you know, like the old man always, like he was always, like, you know, trying to learn how to do stuff himself, and that's why I get it. I understand now.
No, we can do it. Like I can see it. We can get some people here to help us, but like you said, time is money. And it's like I would ask somebody to do it and do it right. I can. We were gonna do the porch. We were gonna resand the porch stuff. I didn't mind that. I can sand, but like cutting lumber and cutting composite and making stairs, I don't know about that. But we'll figure it out. The joy of the owning the home.
You're gonna have to. Yeah. You ain't got no choice. You're gonna have to figure it out one way or another. So you can pay that. You can pay that $5,000 like me, or you can figure it out how you gonna do it.
Right.
I'm about to rob somebody, man. I know that. But y'all ain't here to listen to us talk about that. You got to here to listen to us talk about the weird, the creepy, a little bit. We got into a little bit of the what do you call it, conspiracy stuff, and you know, all that good stuff.
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We and I know y'all don't hear about this thing. I get into weird, but I went to
my man Nathan
a horse race yesterday, and we all got back. It was Lauren's family's birthday. We came back and they're like, "What you been up to?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching podcasts about how there's probably multiverses, and if you were able to travel to the universe far enough, you can meet another you." And and Lauren's like, "This is not the people who talk about today."
No. she had to reel you in. What's up, viewers? I'm reading your comments.
Her mom was like, nah, we gotta talk about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, man, this podcast has definitely changed my mind on a lot of stuff. It got me thinking about other stuff. Yeah. So, anyways,
and discuss it with, except for the people in our chat. So I pulled up. Y'all hilarious. Thank you, Nathan. He's gonna get the ski mask for me. Definitely not a Diddy podcast. Shell is huge on that, and she has been playing it in the background, and I've been listening to it every now and then. And yeah, I hate myself for listening to it, but
I don't know what's going on in Diddy's case.
But you don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Really.
No, it's not. It's not your type of hype. Not into the stars and all that. So, but I got Lord Vader here, cracking, popping. You know what I'm saying? What you got?
I got my guy Guts here. If you can see him.
Okay, that's the anime, right? That's anime.
Yeah, manga. So
yeah. Okay.
We're living in both worlds today. But yeah, today, what you got for us? The Travis Walton abduction.
Yeah, so this is the Travis Walton abduction. This is we have not done abductions yet, and so I felt this might be a good time to get into it. When I talk about abductions, we're not talking about like trafficking or anything like that. We're talking about aliens abducting people.
Oh, so that's for the Diddy thing, man. I did not track that.
Yeah, that's where the Diddy thing came in. So this has had nothing to do with that. This is now the aliens are doing that. I don't know nothing about that, but there are definitely a lot of jokes that can be had.
For sure.
But this was an abduction that was. This is an abduction. I always have a hard time saying that. There were witnesses that saw this happen. One of the first times I saw this was on I think it was on the Discovery Channel, and then Dad was talking about it one time when I was visiting Minnesota, and I didn't know exactly what he was talking about. He's like, well, we'll just watch it on Hulu. And there's a great documentary on Hulu, and I'm like, oh yeah, I heard about this. So there's a good documentary on Hulu about this one. We're keeping this one short and sweet. It's like 26 minutes or something like that. But they're actually witnesses to this. They even the witnesses took a lie detector on it, and I think some passed and some were inconclusive, which is crazy. And yeah, anyway, it's a pretty good story. So I guess we can just go ahead and get into it, man. Did you want to do that?
Yeah. Do you want me to play it, or do you want to play it?
I'll play it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to just stop the music for me, then we should be good. But yeah, this is some pretty wild stuff, y'all.
Right. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. And there's no need for us to talk about Timberwolves talk, because we'll talk about that sometimes, and there's no reason for that.
We have not mentioned anything about the Wolves.
Nope. Go Pacers. Hey, I'm an adopted Naptown kid, so go Pacers.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Probably shout them out. I am messing up here. So this is done by Scary Mysteries. So shout out to Scary Mysteries. Thank you so much for letting us use your content. Fair and free use. Thank you.
Every town has a dark side. One issue that's always been highly debatable and often divisive is aliens and unidentified flying objects. Whether it's about alleged sightings, photographs and video, or abduction, these unusual stories always seem to create controversy, and they court hundreds of opinions that usually fall into two distinctly contrasting categories. The alien or UFO story is deemed as either genuine or fabricated, real or fake, truth or hoax. Well, in November of 1975, 22-year-old American forestry worker Travis Walton disappeared while working in the remote forests of Snowflake, Arizona. And then, 5 days later, he reappeared, telling an insane story about being abducted.
5 days
aliens.
later, bro.
As expected, UFO believers and skeptics had a field day scrutinizing the alleged alien abduction, and it became one of the best-known stories of its kind.
But could you imagine being gone for 5 days without calling in to work?
No.
you would have no
Man,
job.
what? It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I don't care if you but I got abducted. Yeah, no, that's not cool.
How do you explain that? Yeah, you
How
know
do
you
you
can
do
explain that.
No, you
Like,
can't
man,
even.
you were abducted by aliens. Okay.
FOH.
What's your girl say? What's your girlfriend at?
What'd your girlfriend say?
Yeah.
It's like, man, I lost my job because I got abducted. Okay, so Nathan White
Oh
said
my
something
God.
hilarious because I was thinking the exact same thing. He said 22, dude looks like
That's
45.
Random Rick.
Yeah. Oh, that Random Rick, my bad.
Yeah,
Random Rick.
but no, that's what I thought. Like,
Random Rick.
why do 1980s or like boomers? Why do boomers look so old when they were kids? Someone explain that.
2 words: cigarettes and alcohol.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, lot of that, man, a lot of that. But hey, one love to the boomers, man. Y'all changed the world, so or at least
True.
at least
It's still
America.
rocking.
Hell yeah! I will keep going.
Hey guys, it's Andy Fitzgerald,
Yep.
and welcome to this week's episode of Every Town. Since the 1940s, people have gradually become accustomed to hearing stories about sightings or encounters with alleged flying saucers and alien spacecrafts. But the story of somebody being taken up into one and being experimented on is fairly rare.
I'll do it.
Which is why when Travis narrated his strange experience as witnessed by his coworkers in 1975, he easily got the attention of the world. Let's delve into this alien kidnapping
The high
case
school
down in
year?
Arizona. The first to be reported while the victim was still missing. The first alien abduction story given serious consideration by many credible scientists and skeptics alike. Travis Walton was born on February 10, 1953 in Arizona, and lived most of his life in Snowflake, a remote town located in the state's Navajo County.
That's Arizona.
The unusual name of the town was derived from the surnames of its founders,
Right. I don't see any
Erastus
desert.
Snow and William Jordan Flake. And really, not many people cared about the town or knew anything about it unless you lived in the area. And that is until November of 1975. During that fall, Travis was employed by his best friend Mike Rogers, so they were more than just co-workers. In fact, Travis was dating Mike's sister Dana, who would later on become his wife.
He's 22?
He's 22, bro.
Now, Mike had been working for 9 years for the
How old
United
is
States
Mike?
Forest Service on
I
a
know, Mike was younger
contractual
than him.
basis. And that November, he was hired to thin out scrub brush and undergrowth from a 1,200-plus acre area in northeastern Arizona's Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near Snowflake. The job was the most lucrative contract Mike had received from the government agency, but he was behind schedule. Thus, he assembled a logging crew of 7 workers, including himself and Travis. The 5 other crew members were Ken Peterson, John Goulet, Steve Pierce, Alan Dallas, and Dwayne Smith, who were all from Snowflake as well. In order to meet the deadline and fulfill the contract, they worked overtime, typically from 6 a.m. until sunset, before heading back home together. But something extraordinary and out of this world happened after they packed up just after 6 p.m. on November 5th. Travis had
Nathan
a vivid
also wore a hard
recollection
hat
of
at
what
high school.
occurred before he was taken.
Every day.
The crew had wrapped up for the day and piled into Mike's truck. Shortly after they had left the area with Mike behind the wheel, they saw bright glimmers of light from behind a hill and thought that there had to be a fire. As they drove on and got closer, though, they realized there was no smoke at all, though. Then, just above the tree line, they all saw it. A large silver-colored object shaped
How many
like a
students were in your
flattened
class?
disc hovering above a clearing, illuminating the
How many
area.
students in your classroom? That's all I
It was
want.
around 8 feet thick and about 20 feet wide. Travis said, when we pulled up into the light, we had straight view. It was unmistakable. I yelled, stop.
Bro,
One of the
can you
guys in the
imagine
back
seeing
said
that?
it's a spaceship or a
Man,
flying
what?
saucer. It was less than 100 feet away.
I'm scatting on myself.
Where's my
Mike
power?
stopped the truck, and Travis got out impulsively to get a
Okay.
closer
No,
look
no.
at the object.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not what he asked.
No. How many were in your classroom? No. That's not what I asked. How many were in your classroom?
I knew
How
what you
many
were
were in
asking.
your classroom?
Travis described the cosmic saucer, saying, it was a clearly defined metallic disc outlined against the sky and fantastic in the grandeur of it.
Yeah, we had about 500 in our total class, too.
The oddity of what they were staring at alarmed the other guys, so they yelled
Maybe
out to Travis to
600.
get back into the truck.
Yeah, that tracks.
The entranced young logger continued walking towards the disc.
Okay.
You're in okay. All right.
Then, after about a minute or two, the
You're in
disc
the
began
you're in
making
normal
noises
classes.
similar
He
to a
questioned
loud
the hard
turbine.
hat,
Travis was nearly standing
comment.
below it.
So,
And then started to wobble sideways. So Travis dove for cover behind a log. He then tried to stand up and run away, but a beam of blue-green light coming from beneath the disc struck him with stunning force. The other loggers who saw everything firsthand recall what transpired thereafter. The bright light hurled Travis in a backward motion at least 10 feet into the air.
Damn.
Then landed on the ground unconscious. The men stated that the horror was unreal.
Just busting your
They were certain
balls
that
a little bit
Travis
there,
was badly
Nathan. That's all.
hurt, if not dead. And
I
fearing for
am
their
too.
own lives, they drove away from the scene.
Yeah, they left him.
They drove his own car?
Yeah.
Logan recounted that as they fled, he looked back and saw the luminous object lifting up out of the woods and
They skirted
disappearing
out
towards the horizon.
So what if you went up there and said, I just want
The
power?
6 men came
Give
to
me
their
some power.
senses a
Don't
bit
care
and
what
knew they
you
had to
do.
go back to help their friend.
Yeah. If I ever get abducted, I'm just gonna be like, hey, look, just unlock my secret abilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me be able to fly and scale buildings.
Right. Do me how the what was it that the elder Namek did Gohan.
Right, and walk my
Yeah.
and I will conquer this planet for you.
Yeah. I will conquer the planet. Damn. All right, y'all, in the chat. If the aliens gave you superpowers and in exchange you have to conquer the planet for them, would you do it? Would you do it?
I would. Man,
Kobe would do it, apparently.
I would do it.
I would do it too. Oh Lord.
The new world order.
There, they searched in the woods for Travis, but the object was gone.
Kneel
and so
before
was he.
Zod.
That'd be a Ultramite.
Dressed in just a shirt, jeans, and denim jacket on that unforgettable November evening. The men wondered how he could survive the cold winter night if he was out there still alive.
Right. Okay, if they stuck things in you, would it be worth it?
Not if it shrinks your hog.
Oh, shrink your hog? Ooh, I don't know about that.
You can't do that.
I need everything I can get right now.
One of the logging crew members, Ken Peterson, called the sheriff's office at 7:30 p.m.
I don't have any interest to
Travis
give.
was
Not
missing.
worth it for the power.
No.
Deputy Sheriff Chuck Ellison then met the crew at a shopping center in Heber, Arizona. All of them were distraught, while 2 couldn't even control their tears. They related what they had witnessed to the deputy, who was skeptical of the men's surreal account. Ellison thought that if they were acting, they were awfully good at it. Then he notified his supervisor, Sheriff Marlon Gillespie, who arrived an hour later with another police officer, and listened to the story of the 6 loggers. Mike Rogers, the lead crewman, insisted on going back to the forest to search for his friend with possibly some tracking dogs. Despite the absence of canines, the police and 3 of the loggers returned to the scene, as the 3 other crew members were too upset and decided to go home and tell their family and friends.
Looks like a band.
Right.
The search party grew bigger as more police and volunteers joined in. At the scene of the alleged alien encounter, the police officers found no physical evidence that would validate the account of the loggers. Thus, they raised their suspicion about the story's legitimacy, and they were worried that Travis was actually lost and would succumb to hypothermia. The following day, on November 6th, Mike and Officer Ken Copeland went to Travis's mother, Mary Collette's, who lived on a small ranch in Bear Creek, some 10 miles from Snowflake. When told of what happened to her son, Mrs. Collette was calm and reserved and simply asked if anyone other than the police and the eyewitnesses had heard the story. Officer Copeland found her reaction and behavior odd, and it increased the police suspicion that there was more to Travis's disappearance aside from the alleged UFO story.
He got powers. That's what happened.
In the early morning that day, officials and volunteers combed the area again, but still found no trace of Travis. Thus, their suspicion that the UFO story was fabricated in order to cover up an accident or even a homicide was heightened. The police had already left and were gone when Mike and Travis's older brother Dwayne went to the scene in the mid-morning. This angered them, thinking that no follow-up search was done. That afternoon, police continued a more thorough search for Travis with helicopters, horse-mounted officers, and jeeps. Curiously, despite the explosive bluish-green light that forcefully hurled Travis into the air, then dropped him to the ground, there wasn't any evidence of blast effects, blood, or any shreds of clothing. Neither was there proof of any physically violent altercation among the 7 loggers.
How do all these guys fit in one truck? Did they all work together? They all rode on one truck? How do they all fit in one truck?
Yeah, how did they all fit in one truck?
Separate interrogations of the 6 witnesses showed similarities.
I have no idea.
Description, what they termed
that's a good question.
On laps, they were a little.
Mike described the disc as
now we know
a
what
large
happened. Really
object hovering in the air below the treetop about 100 feet away. Dwayne Smith's description of it was smooth and giving off a yellow.
I would like the teleporter fly too. I don't know if you put that up. Yeah.
The other witnesses had parallel observations.
I like teleport, fly, super strength too. I need super strength.
A flattened disc with edges clearly defined. Their testimonies about how the event unfolded until Travis went missing ran consistently along the same line. In order to establish their truthfulness, though, Mike and the 5 other men indicated their willingness to undergo any kind of lie detector test.
This is the most craziest thing right here.
On November 8th, 3 days after the inexplicable incident and with Travis still missing, the crew individually took polygraph tests administered by Cy Gilson, a polygraph examiner from the Department of Public Safety, which was associated with the Arizona State Police.
Shell, this drink is good, by the way.
Mr. Gilson's vital questions included asking the men if they caused harm to Travis or knew who had caused him harm, if they knew where Travis's body was buried, and if they told the truth about seeing a UFO. The men all denied harming their fellow logger or knowing who had harmed Travis, denied knowing where his body was, and insisted they had indeed seen a UFO. 5 of the crewmen passed the polygraph examination, while Alan Dallas wasn't able to complete the test, so it was ruled inconclusive.
You look like a murderer.
Hey, low-key.
Killed somebody.
Low-key.
Part of Mr. Gilson's official report stated,
His polygraph examination proved
that these 5 men did see some object they believed to be a UFO, and that Travis Walton was not injured or murdered by any one of these men on that Wednesday. He concluded that 5 of the 6 men tested were truthful. The exam results were conclusive. The polygraph examiner thought that if the UFO was fake, aka a hoax, 5 of these men had no prior knowledge of it. After the release of the tests, Sheriff Marlon Gillespie announced that he accepted the UFO story and believed that the men were telling the truth
Isn't
about
that
the
wild?
Travis Walton
That's
alien
crazy.
abduction incident.
So yeah, I mean, they're not lying according
Right.
to the polygraph test.
Yeah.
Expectedly, the news of Travis's disappearance and the surrounding circumstances soon attracted international news reporters, ufologists, and curious individuals who traveled to Snowflake. In one interview, Dwayne disclosed that he and his brother Travis were quite interested in UFOs, and they would want to get close as possible to any UFO if they ever had the chance. Moreover, Dwayne himself had witnessed a UFO similar to his brother's incident sometime in 1963. Shortly after the interviews, Sanford Flake, Snowflake's town marshal, announced that the whole incident was a prank engineered by the Walton brothers. Flake said they had fooled the logging crew by lighting a balloon and releasing it at the appropriate time. But Flake's wife disagreed and said that her husband's story was just as far-fetched as Dwayne Walton's.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
The authorities tried to keep the scene of the incident for serious forensic examination, but it was made impossible by the mass influx of local and international visitors curious about what happened. Of course, there were mixed reactions from many people. While some admired the crewmen's story, others branded them as liars or pranksters, whose account was simply a joke gone bad. And they surmised that Travis would suddenly reappear.
Why would they even do something like that? I mean that's your reputation on the line. And these are grown ass men. These aren't kids.
I mean, I guess if you did it and people believed you can get some kind of money for it, but I don't know. I mean, that's one thing I could think about. They're just trying, like, all these guys trying to grift for some money.
But this is before it was popular. I like that NASA hat, by the way. But this is before it was popular.
Yeah, to turn it around, it wasn't. I don't want people to think it was the other red hat. But anyways, yeah. Was it? You said it was before it was popular.
Yeah, before UFO sightings, abductions, all of the this paranormal stuff was popular.
I
So
mean, true.
like, why even risk that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. I guess you can't really. People think you can't prove it, so these guys. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's what people usually do.
yeah. But and just like, I don't know.
I really can't explain. I don't really. That's a question we need to think about a lot of the time. But why would I make up this information?
Yeah,
Just make it up.
and risk my entire reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only your reputation, but your families, your friends, those people that you surround yourself with, especially family members. Like if they had wives, kids, and things like that, these people get ridiculed,
Yeah.
dragged through the mud. You know what I'm saying? Especially if people thought that they were faking it. So yeah, I would never. Maybe it's just because I'm sane. I don't know. I would never. I don't know if I even tell. I don't know if I even make it public that I got abducted. I might tell you or my wife or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. Dad. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't tell the news you got abducted by the aliens? By the aliens? By aliens?
No.
I don't.
I don't need that attention.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't either. I guess I don't see the point.
What can they do about it?
Yeah, I guess it's probably they're not to tell anybody because we live in a time where people have cognitive dissonance. They believe what they feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you really can't tell anybody new information because they're gonna be quick to jump on the bullshit train before anything
Right.
else. So
Right. I don't like to talk about, like, when I see spirits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
Like,
I think it's about people you're around though. Like I think it's a lot
yeah.
of people who I know be like, what that they be so into that. But it depends on who
Yeah.
you're around, I think too. A
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people tell you you're crazy, then you're like, well, hey, I'm gonna keep it to myself. But like
Yep.
a lot of people who I know be like, what you saw? What? Where'd you see it at? Oh shoot, like they be into it. So I don't know. It depends on who you're around.
Yeah. Like the circle, yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But like the people that I'm around, just on a daily basis, like when I'm out, doing my job and stuff like that, they ain't trying to hear that.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? They think you're crazy. So, and then let that get back to the job. Did you run around
Yeah, you
telling
don't want
people?
yeah, you don't want your job though. You
Right,
see ghosts, I guess. Yeah.
right. Because when I'm out there in the field, I'm representing them. So they're like, hey, look, we're gonna need you to stop telling people that you see ghosts, weirdo. I mean, it's hard enough to tell them, like, hey, look, I'm not a right winger.
Yeah.
It's hard enough telling them that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So anyway, all right, I keep it going.
You're on cue from deliberately hiding somewhere. So everyone's big question was, where was Travis Walton? And the most awaited answer came 5 days after Travis went missing. November
Yeah, it's a
11th,
hard 22.
1975 marked the return or reappearance of Travis, who brought with him an even more bizarre story that filled the gap since his mysterious disappearance.
We gotta get
The
back to
last
that.
thing he remembered after approaching the UFO in that forest was being struck by the beam of light and then nothingness. He woke up in pain, felt an overwhelming thirst and weakness, and had breathing difficulties. A bright light shone above him, and the air was heavy and wet. Slowly gaining back his consciousness, he first thought he was in a regular hospital surrounded by 3 figures wearing orange jumpsuits, perhaps medical practitioners. But when his vision became clearer,
Bruh.
he then realized they were not humans, but horrible-looking creatures.
You let you say, help me get power. Get the world.
Endow me with
He described them as
abilities.
having a basic humanoid appearance. Shorter than 5 feet, they had bald heads, no hair. Their heads were domed, disproportionately larger for their little bodies.
Your
They
classic
looked like
alien.
fetuses. They had large eyes, enormous eyes, almost all brown without much white in them. The creepiest thing about them were those eyes. They just stared through me. They had no lashes and no eyebrows, and their little noses, ears, and especially mouths never moved. Travis further said they were thin with delicate hands that didn't have nails and covered with marshmallow-looking skin. He attempted to push the one closest to him, but it simply shot back with ease. It felt spongy and soft, Travis said. If he had gripped the human captive, and despite feeling weak, he stood up and yelled at the creatures, "Keep back, damn you." He then grabbed an unbreakable glass-like cylinder from a nearby shelf and waved it at the creatures as a weapon. The aliens suddenly left the room through an open door, giving Travis a chance to get out from the exam room via a hallway. He
Bad
entered a
move,
dark,
Travis.
spherical room with a high-backed chair at its center.
You're
Travis
already
should
there.
stay put.
Tell Pop, you're
As he
already
walked
there.
towards it, the room lit up.
Get your powers. Get something. Get a gun. All right, look, you guys.
I ain't
put
gonna get
me
a
in.
gun. He's in the
They-
spaceship.
I bet they got spaceship guns.
They got an armory that you can raid somewhere.
Teleport you up there. You're on a bed or table.
He said, "Get a gun."
I'm like, look, little pale dude. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all are cool. Y'all didn't hurt me. So let me get a gun or let me get some powers. Y'all can have the whole world. I got you. You get the whole world.
I got you in the whole world deal.
Get the whole world. You can check out everything.
They say hey, look, we need to be taken over. We need
Yeah, we need help. You got the technology.
Dude, this is why you also carry it. I think that they would disarm him if he had a knife, though, Nathan. Honestly,
I don't think they want to fight you. I think they want to give you powers.
So no, that's it. Are we live? Yes, we are live, Dad. We are live. Yes, sir, indeed.
Yeah. So get my powers, and you get the world.
And you're gonna take over the world. You get some power. But what if they say you got to shrink your hog, like Nathan said?
I can't do that.
So you're not gonna take the powers in?
I can't. We gotta talk about that. I can't. How much shrinkage are we talking about?
A few centimeters. They're gonna take a few centimeters off.
Hey, that's not too bad. For the powers, that's all right.
I don't know who I thought to Lauren about that. You might need to FaceTime her before you go through with the process.
Hey, look.
Go through with the procedure.
I get cosmic powers, but a little shrinkage.
A little shrinkage, and I have to enslave the world. Yeah. I mean, are you cool with that?
I'm going to conquer the world. That's what you're aware.
We're going to enslave humanity. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. You keep that same energy, man, because when you do get abducted.
Okay, maybe I won't conquer that. That won't be the right word.
You will be a harbinger. You won't conquer it, but you'll be the harbinger to say, hey, this is what's about to happen. Nathan White said the only way to use your power is to have jazz hands while you activate them.
I would love it. That'd be the greatest. That'd be a good. You know what I mean?
That's a good trade-off. That's a good trade-off
for sure.
That's it. Some people have extra. Yeah. Some people got extra. I don't have none. I got none to give. I got what I got.
Jazz hands for sure.
That's
I got what you gotta go like that. Turn on power.
Because I mean, I could lose 8 and still be good. Holy smoke! What 8 millimeters?
Half worse. God damn.
Good Lord, man! Put that hog away.
No,
put your pet iguana away.
Give me the powers, and we have to negotiate a new world. I can help you negotiate a new world. I'll be Omni-Man.
A new world order. Okay, yeah, the millimeters. I knew it. Shave a smidge off the top. All right, you got it hilarious. All right, I'll keep going. We're almost done here. Jeez.
When he sat in the empty chair, the room was filled with lights, similar to stars projected on a round planetarium ceiling. When he stood up, the star-forming lights disappeared, but he saw what he thought was a rectangular outline on the wall, perhaps a door, and he went to look for it. And suddenly, he heard a sound behind him. Turning around, he was pleasantly surprised to see a tall human figure wearing a blue bodysuit and glassy helmet. No. Their eyes were larger than normal and were a bright gold color.
That's a hybrid.
This man led Travis to a large room similar to an aircraft hangar. There, Travis realized he'd just left a disc-shaped craft similar to the one in the forest just before he was struck by the bluish light. But this craft was perhaps twice as big. Then Travis was brought to another room and placed on a small table. A woman who resembled a tall, helmeted man held an oxygen mask, which she placed on his face. Before he could fight back, Travis said he passed out.
The aliens just transformed their stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Or they got hybrids.
When he awoke on a cold night, Travis said he was outside the gas station in Heber, Arizona.
And didn't get no
One of the
power.
disc-shaped
See, I told
crafts
you they
was
wanted to
hovering
give him
just
some
above the
power.
highway and then shot away shortly after.
The man was not there to give him a high five. No, he was not.
They're like, nah, he
Travis
can't
didn't have
handle
an
the power.
idea he had been gone for 5 days and thought that only a few hours had passed.
So they dropped him off at a gas station?
Mhm.
That's convenient.
He then called his brother-in-law, Grant Neff, who initially doubted that Travis was on the line, but later drove to Heber with Dwayne to get him.
Squandered his chance at super abilities.
Finally, the most wanted man in Snowflake, Arizona was home.
Till they conquered the world.
That's a crazy interaction, though.
Upon his return, he and his family were besieged by UFO
Man.
researchers, authorities, profiteers, debunkers, and the media that wanted his story. But Travis's health was the main concern for his family. His brother Dwayne received a call from the Aerial Phenomenon Research Organization, or APRO, a civilian UFO research group which promised to arrange a medical examination for Travis. The National Enquirer, an American tabloid known for sensationalism, financed APRO's research in exchange for access to Travis. The medical examination showed that Travis was essentially in good health. No
He was a
sign of
man's
drugs
man.
were found in his system.
You're right. He was a man's man.
Despite being in a still distraught state, Travis was asked to take a polygraph test, which was controversial, as Travis and the examiner had a dispute over the manner in which the test was done. However, Travis subsequently passed 2 polygraph tests.
Holy smokes.
And following this, the National Enquirer awarded Travis and his co-workers a $5,000 prize for Best UFO Case of the Year.
That's Jack.
Okay, there go the money. That's jackpot,
Some
baby.
ufologists, like Jim Ledwith, believed Travis was abducted by aliens. He said, for 5 days, the authorities thought Travis had been murdered by his co-workers, and then he was returned. All of the co-workers who were there, who saw the spacecraft, they all took polygraph tests and they all passed, except for one, and that one was inconclusive.
That's just inconclusive. Well,
for everybody included, you get
As
taken,
expected,
or
skeptics
you're
debunked Travis's story and
suspected
considered
of
it
a
a hoax.
murderer, be a murderer.
They described it
Yeah.
as sensationalizing on the part of the media and a put-up job to make money.
I mean, they made money,
UFO
but
researcher and debunker Philip Klass reported that Travis's
almost
polygraph
enough.
tests were poorly
Yeah.
administered, that
Only
Travis
$5
used
grand.
polygraph countermeasures. He also found many discrepancies.
is it worth 25 grand? Is it worth 5 grand?
25 grand, sorry. Was it 25 grand?
No,
Oh,
they got
5 grand
They
each.
got
though?
5 grand each, so it's not worth
No,
the 5.
Nah, it's not worth. Someone who did been in position that before in the chat, let me know. If you got if you got handcuffs put on you, and you're suspected of a murder of your fellow logger, and they're like, "Oh, you murdered this guy," and thank God this fool popped back up, just out of nowhere. Because let me take it back. You saw your friend get taken by a UFO,
Yeah,
then you get suspected of murder. Thank God this fool pops back up,
facts.
and they say, "Oh, my bad, bro. Here's 5 grand." I don't know if I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be like, wait a second. Hold up.
5 grand was a lot of money back then, though. I mean, it's
That's
a lot of money now, but considering, I mean, you can't do much with it. But
I wouldn't be mad about it, but I'd be like, God, like that's a lot. That's a lot to go on. That's a lot to go on. Yeah, it's just a good car. I wouldn't
Yeah.
buy a car. I'd be like, man, give me this logging company. Shit.
I'm sure it costs a lot more than that.
Yeah. You give me some stock in this or something. I don't know.
Cool. Would you buy 2 chains?
What would you do with 5 grand? I don't know.
In 1978, man, there's a lot you do that, man. Throw that to an annuity or throw that into a IRA or something like that. I mean, these are young cats too, so
still gotta be a logger though, right?
Still gotta be a logger. Yeah, 5 grand is not gonna. It's not
You
gonna stop
to
you
go out there
having
and
to go back to work.
deal with that alien.
Yeah. So, it definitely made them popular. I mean, this story has been, it's a big story to your UFO community.
Yeah, you could probably make some money just off living off like the story.
story signings and
people. Yeah, sign.
Yeah. All right, keep going. Almost done.
These and the accounts of Travis and his coworkers. Cognitive psychologist Susan Clancy argued that Travis was likely influenced by the TV movie The UFO Incident, about the alien abduction claims of Betty and Barney Hill back in 1961.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It had aired just 2 weeks before Travis's claimed abduction, and both Class and Clancy believed Travis was inspired to stage his own in order to become an instant celebrity. And Travis indeed became one.
Okay, yeah, you said it cost that. That's it?
Yeah.
$3,000?
God damn. Okay.
4 decades later, and Travis, now a father working as a foreman at a lumber mill, still stands by his story. He'd taken 5 separate lie detector tests to prove his account was true.
Oh my
God.
God.
The crew members had taken a total of 11 polygraph tests. Meanwhile, despite allegations of a hoax by many, no one has brought forth any proof to substantiate those claims.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does too.
In retrospect, Travis Walton's story still remains one of the most intriguing reports of UFO abduction, has this to say. When I made that fateful choice to leave the truck, I was leaving behind more than just my 6 fellow workmen. I was leaving behind forever all semblance of a normal life, running headlong toward an experience so overwhelmingly mind-rending in its effects, so devastating in its aftermath, that my life would never, could never, be the same again.
See?
I'm laughing at Nathan.
You gotta have your power.
So that's going to do it, guys, for this week's episode of Every Town. Hope you enjoyed it. Please tune in next week for another one filled with scary, strange, and mysterious stories. Because who knows?
You can, the
maybe
world
your
is
town
yours.
will be next.
I will bring people to you.
All right, y'all. So that's the story of Travis Walton abduction, the man who did not get powers.
That's all I can get from it, man.
That's your takeaway.
He ran away too fast. I would have been like, hold up. So what we doing?
Hey,
you doing powers?
I hear you guys give out powers. I don't know.
The movie with the kid, he got the suit, the super suit, and it was like Starboard or.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the movie. Chat, y'all remember the name of that movie? But yeah, it was when did that come out? The night was that
like late 90s or like early 2000s.
It's pretty dope. But it wasn't the guy. It's not the it was the guy. Wasn't that?
Bro. But I need to look it up.
But yeah, he got a super suit. It's from the aliens. It's pretty badass. I like the movie The Navigator. I don't know. You probably don't remember that. That came out like 1987, 1988, something like that. And you were born in 87. And it was Fred Savage from The Wonder Years, and he was the main star in it. He got abducted by these aliens, and he gained this ship that he could fly everywhere. It's called The Navigator.
I've seen that.
You seen that?
It talks to him.
Yeah.
I've seen
like
that.
AI to talk to him. Yeah.
What is the movie? The Last Starfighter, where he's like just picked because he's good at that game.
Yeah, he didn't get no powers though.
You got a you got a ship. You got to fly over the galaxy.
That mofo got recruited as a starfighter to fight in a war. I don't know if that's a benefit. Like, hey, you're really good at this game. You're going to war. What?
If you're that cold, you can probably live in the war. You could see the galaxy. I'll take that.
I mean, he made it through the war.
And then you can go find some powers. Still find some powers. Hey, you got some powers? I need to get some powers.
This big galaxy. You need a power broker. That's what you need.
That's what I'm like, hey, for work, can I shoot fire out of my hands? Who can give me that? That's the first power I got to get.
What if they were like, okay, look, we can upgrade your DNA, but you have to train.
To get to certain levels. Better. That'd be even better. You're telling me I can get better with my powers? I train?
Yeah, it's like you could train, you'll get stuff. It's slow, you got to train hard.
Lock me in the dungeon.
And there's levels to it. There's levels to it. But you still got to work a full-time job. So, like, are you going to have time to do all that?
You're a starfighter, and that'd be my life. That's all I would do.
All right.
You get paid to fight in the war.
All right, guys. Chat. Would y'all do that? Would y'all do that? You got to fight. You got to fight in the interstellar war.
But you're already cold because you were good at the video game. So you've already been doing the game. You're already good at the game.
But they recruited him because a lot of people were dying.
But he was cold.
Okay, I'm sure they had a lot of cold mofos. He was cold though. He was nice. He lives. He made it through.
He was nice. They're remaking that, I heard.
I hope they do. That's a good IP to do. Nathan White said you will have to learn how to tap dance with jazz hands. I would do that. I don't care.
That's it.
I love the performing arts, so I'm with it.
Think about it, chat. You're a starfighter by day and a Jedi apprentice at night. What's wrong with that? Now you gotta figure out your love life. I understand that your wife. I don't know how you're gonna do all that, but still, that wouldn't be too bad for life.
But you got powers. You can have all the baddies you want. You gotta stick to just one. We ain't got no power, so we can only have one.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a legendary galaxy warrior, yeah, I'm sure.
You have all. You have all of them. You have all of them. You're a hero. You're a hero of sorts.
Hear me well. You beam me up. I'm asking for some power. I'll fight in the galaxy war. Forget Earth.
In the galaxy war. The war against the Draconians.
Screw the people with them. People do not care about this.
Sorry, guys. Worry too much in the comments.
Yeah,
So June 5th is coming up pretty soon, and I found this on Instagram. Instagram is kind of like the news. It tries to scare the shit out of you as often as it can to kind of keep your energy low. But let's make sure we get this chat in real quick. Nathan White said some dude shows up to the battlefield tap dancing with jazz hands and slaying everyone. Like Gregory Hines, I can see it now.
It's just mystical power.
Right. I didn't go to Vietnam, so I'm damn sure not going to start fighting. Yeah. I don't know if I'm doing that either. But he's cold. Yeah, okay. I said he might be cold on Earth, but you might.
But that's why they got him though, because he was already so good at it.
See, on Earth. That's like they get that cold wide receiver down there somewhere in Tuscaloosa, wherever the hell. They bring him to D1. They bring him to University of Alabama. He's not as cold as he was down there. So
you be as cold, or if you're dead. You're a dead starfighter.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So you got to risk life and limb to get superpowers, man. You can have it. So
I would do it.
So I found this pretty interesting, guys, and this is not part of any. Oh, I did something. I messed up. This is not part of any segment or anything, but I just found this interesting, so I'm gonna play it. Since June 5th, it's coming on soon. It might just be a scare tactic. You know how news do. But check this out. Tell me what y'all think.
So I wasn't sure I was going to share this because my goal on here is to never strike fear. My goal on here is to bring communities together.
But I think I lost everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Hold on. Because I can't see y'all. I only got one tab.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to leave. I'm going to come back. I'll be right back.
Oh, should I play it?
Yeah. Go ahead and play it.
All right, I'll play it for y'all. He'll come back. Hopefully it works for me.
Oh, okay. I'm here. There we are.
You got it?
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, I don't know what happened. All right, I'll play it. Thanks, chat. Appreciate it. All right, here we go.
I wasn't sure I was going to share this because my goal on here is to never strike fear. My goal on here is to bring communities together, start conversations, learn from one another, respect one another. But I feel like it's time that I share this story. Well, it's not a story. It's coming from the source and facts. But one of my very dear friends who I've kind of talked about on here before, who has shared some very important things that I've shared with all of you. He's a scientist. I shouldn't have said he, but yes, he's a scientist. He works with seismic activity. He works with a lot of different things that are in the science industry. I don't have to go in because I don't really want to tell too much about him. But he reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and was like, hey, my team and I have been tracking some seismic activity, and I think you should talk to your TikTok followers about this. So I didn't think I was going to do it because, I don't want to strike fear, and that's not my purpose. But now what I'm about to tell you is showing up on the news, like CNN, and also news reports out of London.
Anybody
and
watching
Australia,
CNN? Have
and
y'all
all
seen
over the
them?
entire world, that in the coming months, there's predicted a mile-wide volcano that is in the Pacific Ocean that is expected to go off in the next coming months. Now, when he reached out to me, they have predicted it's going to be on June 5th. And this volcano that is potentially about to erupt will trigger over 10,000 earthquakes all over the entire globe in one day. Now, I don't know what else to do with this information, but he was very adamant that perhaps I should share this information with the people who follow me. Now, I don't know if you've seen the news reports. I saw the one on CNN, and the crazy thing is it was just a scrolling bar at the bottom, not even a main story. And I don't understand why 10,000 earthquakes happening in one day and a mile-wide volcano going off in the ocean is not a headline story. So let me know. All right, so I wasn't sure I was going to.
All right.
Just straight up.
He said straight up, yeah. What's
He didn't say, nah, I ain't see that in the cap.
Yo. Okay.
Funny.
That made me feel better. Nathan White said maybe he does want to strike fear. He said when he shouldn't have. Yeah. Maybe.
Say what?
Then maybe he does want to strike fear. He said when he shouldn't have. So maybe when people say I don't want to strike fear, and they really mean it. And then he said, I said he, and I shouldn't have said he, based like he's giving out too much information. So I don't know. But I want to know if anybody has seen that at all. I have not. That's a total bullshit. Okay. I hope so. Yeah, and a lot of that stuff's where I haven't really seen a whole lot of stuff come when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, but I want to throw it out there just in case anybody sees something.
Axel volcano is predicted to erupt sometime in 2025.
Go be doing some fact checking.
It's on CNN.
It's on there.
Mile-wide underwater volcano ready to erupt off the west coast.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think those earthquakes will hit the Midwest. They'll probably be.
It's not a very explosive event. You won't see the ash clouds above water or anything like that. It's like you put a mouth of seawater on top of a volcano. You may see some fountaining, but that's it.
Because underwater.
It's not going to be a whole bunch of earthquakes.
Okay.
It would say earthquake. So,
okay.
People with that half-ass the truth.
Yeah. Try to scare the crap out of you. Well, Nathan White said, I heard about the volcano, and there's a natural thing. It's not a big deal since it happens. Okay. I don't recommend it. Okay, cool. All right. Good deal. I kind of did that for myself. I wanted to know what was going on. Like, hey,
I'm glad you did.
Do I need to pay my mortgage? Like what? What's going on? Hey, do I need to buy that ticket for the family reunions or like what is happening?
It's gonna be like Armageddon. It's gonna be like goddamn Max Fury out here, Fury Road. Like what? She's over
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I just look, man. Look, man. My bathroom's costing me a lot. I'm trying to save some money. So, what it said? His buddy's probably a scientist and weed smoking. But weed smoking doesn't make you see crazy things, does it?
No, but it'll make you say crazy things like, bro, what if that volcano, bro, like caused a mass earthquake, bro?
Okay. Got you. That's it. Like I said, cap. All right. All right. So I need to continue to pay my mortgage. Okay, thanks.
It said a little fountain might happen.
A little fountain might happen. I thought I had a way out, man. Apparently I don't. All right. So we're gonna get to what's the next segment?
For the gang.
So we're gonna get to game for the gang, y'all, and then I'll start the first one off. It's called the Moors. So
we should make something for that.
Yeah, we should like a little
action. Look,
like a little
blurb. I can see like the X-Men thing, like the X-Men 1990s theme, but like game for the gang.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that'd be pretty dope. I like that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that'd be dope. I can see it in my head now. Like cool little, a little animation type deal. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think about that.
That'd be dope. All right, so this is called The Moors. So check this out, y'all.
Uh-oh.
It was once so powerful, it shaped modern civilization.
We talk about them a lot.
But here's the truth they erased. Keep watching till the end. By the 8th century, the Moors ruled Spain for 700 years. They built libraries, universities, and advanced medicine before Europe did. They introduced algebra, astronomy, and surgical tools still used today. Their cities had streetlights and running water while Europe lived in filth. They even taught European royalty how to bathe properly. Before that, some thought bathing was dangerous. But Europe couldn't accept that black rulers built their future, so they erased the Moors and stole their achievements. The Reconquista wasn't just war, it was the erasure of history. Without the Moors, there's no Renaissance, no universities, no science. Black brilliance built the world. They just don't want you to know. If you're still watching, comment Moors and follow for hidden history. Did you know?
Facts on facts?
And if that blows your mind, you're really going to be blown away by what they did to America.
Oh yeah. We ain't even gotten into that. We touched on that a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, that's
not what they did to America, what they are in America. Yeah.
I think the crazy things about the American history, man, that they tried to go away. George Washington, some of his teeth were teeth of slaves.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty crazy stuff. All right, man. You want to do the next one? The Haunting of Julia Brown.
Julia Brown, the game for the gang, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's game for the game. I think it's game for the game. It might be. You might be able to put that in cap or no cap, but I don't know, man.
All right, but
Dad said something real quick. He said, "I'm reading a book on this. They also had help from the Jews. No cap.
Well, the Jews are from Ethiopia.
Facts.
So that makes sense.
The Moors are Islamic. Not all of them are black. They are. Black people are. Islamics are black.
They're Islamic later on. They're Arab later on. More black. Northern black.
Not more started
back then.
They say she warned them over and over again. Julia Brown was a healer, a midwife, and a respected root worker in the small town of Frenier, Louisiana. But as the years went on, the townspeople began to take advantage, coming to her for help, then turning their backs. That's when she started singing strange songs on her front porch. Not hymns, not prayers, just one chilling line over and over. One day I'll be gone, and I'm taking the whole town with me. No one listened. Until the day they should have. On September 29th, 1915, Julia Brown passed. Hours later, a massive hurricane hit without warning. Frenier was wiped off the map. Almost no one made it out. The swamp swallowed what was left. And Julia? Found in the wreckage. Just like she said. Frenier's never been rebuilt. Some say you can still hear her singing when the wind moves just right through the cypress trees. Hit subscribe to watch the newest video about the legend of Marie Laveau, because these Louisiana legend videos are just getting started. They say,
And I've asked about her. You know,
Wow.
I'm in New Orleans every week. They're like, oh yeah, that's the thing that happened. It's fact out there. Yeah, it's fact. Like, yeah, that's the thing.
And
I
not
think it was her. This is a real thing. Voodoo. Yeah. I agree. Voodoo and
no
hoodoo.
disrespect to Nate, but the Middle East wasn't the Middle East until I forgot what year they made it. That was Africa.
Yeah, it's Africa.
That was all Africa back before they called it the Middle East. So that was all like, and then Europeans and then they started calling that Middle East and all that stuff happened. But yeah,
the colonizers.
Yeah, it got colonized.
Yeah, but it's Islamics are black, so it's the same thing. But it's game for the gang, so it's game putting you up on game. But yeah, Nathan White. But back to voodoo. Yeah, man, that's and voodoo was actually a religion, the African religion, and then the colonizers made it a bad thing, an evil thing when it was brought to America. That's basically Africans practicing their religion. It's basically what it was, but they saw that it had a real effect. Like it was actually they could quantify it. It was actually the stuff that they were doing was actually happening for real. They're like, it's outlawed, it's evil, it's bad, and so they
was it Africans or was it specifically Black Americans who were doing voodoo?
It started in Africa. It started. You know what? You talking about the natives.
But root work is something that we did, but I mean, I'm sure there's different names for it in Africa too. I just don't know I don't know what they called it in Africa.
Yeah, I mean, it was a practice that probably started. I mean, everything started in Africa. You know what I mean? And the generations that came up here, like the natives and all that stuff, they probably got their own version of it, but it stems from Africa. Let's see here. Nathan White said the Moors were diverse people. They brought many together. Oh yeah. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not talked about. I did not learn about the Moors in school. Did you learn about the Moors in school? Did they talk
about them in college?
In college?
I learned about them through actually I learned about them through high school because of Othello, and so he was a Moor.
Shut up!
And
I didn't know that.
They discussed like, you know that?
No.
Yeah, Othello was a Moor. He was a black man. He was a black.
Yeah, I knew he was black, but I didn't know he was a Moor. Do they say that in Othello? Do they?
Yeah, and then I looked at what Moors were, and it was it was black looking people from Northern Africa who conquered Italy and Spain and gave them technology. So
yeah, okay. All right, the more you know. Nathan White said voodoo is straight from Africa and blended with native ways. Yeah. I agree with that, Nathan. Pop says it's no different than any other religion. It's really not.
Well, there's black natives, so I'm just saying, like, there's black natives who did root work. So I'm like, the natives traded with the Africans. So they were going too much into it, but I guess this is the only time we can do that. But
that's what it's for. That's why we do this.
So it was they all learned from each other.
Yeah, but it stems from somewhere, and then it gets remixed and all that. Nathan White said I did learn them in school. Later in college, the majority were black.
Well, here's the thing too.
I learned about the Moors.
That we're talking about blacks and natives and root work. Pagans or white people did it too. Pagans were doing root work. they called it
Yeah.
a different name, but it was root work.
Oh,
So this
absolutely.
was a shared thing that
Mm,
every group did. It was a
mm,
different name to this stuff.
yeah, I mean, witches making potions and shit like that
Yeah,
from
yeah,
root.
yeah, yeah.
Pop said Black Americans were in the Americas thousands of years before the Europeans. Yeah, and this is kind of a new thing. Just at least it's new to me. As far as Black Americans being here thousands of years before the Europeans. That's pretty dope, and there's evidence of that now. It's not. I know BJ doesn't believe it. He's like, we all cover Africa. Yeah, well, we all cover Africa,
Oh
but
yeah.
we were here thousands of years before they for the colonizers. And we're talking about Europeans, like colonizers or whatever. But yeah. All right, Kobe. I think I have the next one, right?
The New Orleans one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in that one.
So I got this. So check this out.
Now we've all seen that very viral video of that man in New Orleans trying to bump elbows with the guy to tell his future. Everybody is talking about destiny swapping, which this is a form of trying to destiny swap. But nobody is talking about how the dead walk amongst the living on Bourbon Street, French Quarters, New Orleans. And they look just like us. And sometimes these hands get stuck onto people, like an attachment, like a cancer. And these people still have partially their minds and they want it off. And all it takes is one touch, one transfer of energy, and that spirit will jump on your ass. I don't know how many different ways I can tell you.
Big
New
facts,
Orleans
Nathan.
is a
And
portal. New
hold
Orleans,
on to that.
Yeah.
New Orleans is a portal, especially in the French Quarters and specifically on Bourbon. It's so bad when I go, I keep salt in my pocket. So if I accidentally bump into anybody, if anybody touches me, if I touch something and I get the heebie-jeebies, I throw salt over my shoulder. I walk out of places backwards. Every Goosebump book that you read as a child about werewolves, loogaroos, hates, vampires,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they all down there in New Orleans. To this
Okay.
day, if you know, you know.
That's
Hell, there are buildings that appear and disappear. Yes, you heard me correctly. During the witching hour, buildings will appear that were not there before. And I love Noah. Noah love me. But you have to be careful when you're going down there. Don't be in the French Quarters, drunk, doing stupid shit,
I've
talking
heard
to
that from
anybody,
the
letting
locals.
anybody read your palm, anybody read tarot on you. No. Don't be taking your ass down there, going off into non-tourist areas or back in them back alleys. Because you're going to fuck around and find out. By now,
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of locals there, man. Yeah, I'm there every week. So yeah.
okay.
A lot of stuff is true, especially about that bumping shit.
Yeah, I heard that. I actually seen videos of people in New Orleans. Like this guy was like jumping away from this person. Like, yeah, you ain't touching me.
Yeah.
But
So-
the Vikings and the Native Americans, the black natives, traded together. They were cool.
Yeah.
I think Vikings learned breeding from Native Americans up here.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
that might be made up. I thought how
that's an interesting
TikTok
fact.
is, but I'm pretty sure they traded. They were cool.
That's an interesting fact, man.
Japanese were here a long time ago.
I said new research is revealing that Native Americans were descendants of Africans.
And the Mongols, the red ones.
Yeah, the Mongols. Yeah, Genghis Khan. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that new research, man. I try to stay tapped into that. The Japanese were here a very long time ago too. Yeah, we haven't even gotten to how they started. Like they have a rich history. It's super old, super ancient. Same thing with India.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild, man. Let's see. Pop said I've never been to New Orleans and I have no desire to go there. It's dope. It's dope. I think everybody should visit New Orleans at least once in their lives and check out Bourbon Street. But go there with somebody that you know, go there with somebody that you know who knows the area and who knows what to do and what not to do. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Now I haven't been on Bourbon Street yet. Now that hopefully that'll come. When I go there, I just I go for work. But there is I am going to get down to Bourbon Street soon and all that. But I hear great things, but you have to be very careful. Be very careful from a spiritual standpoint. So,
I got the next one. It's
okay.
called Hell.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about the origins of hell. So, in the original Bible, written in Hebrew, hell was actually originally Gehenna,
I can understand that.
where they would throw prisoners and burn bad people, right? So,
Totally get that.
in torment, that's where it comes from. When the Bible was then translated into Greek, we started to get a little bit more of the Greek mythology into the Bible context, and Gehenna was turned to Hades, the god of the underworld, the underground flaming place that the Greeks believed you went after you died. How did we get from Gehenna to Hades to hell? Well, all you have to do is look to Norse mythology. The goddess Hel, Hel, was actually the goddess of the underworld in Norse mythology. The English translations come next, where they added that extra L.
Loki's daughter.
Take Gehenna to Hades to hell to hell. That's where hell came from, my darling. And in fact, most modern depictions that we see and know of hell come from Milton's Paradise Lost, which is also a work of fiction. So why are so many people afraid of hell, a place that has never been discovered, never been substantiated, and comes from mythology? Well, that's because during the Middle Ages, when the church realized that they could control people with fear, they ran with the concept of hell to give people a punishment for not believing. Hell is a tool that is used to control people with fear. It's fictional. Hope this helps. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about the origins of hell.
There was no hell before Christian writing. Yeah, I've heard that.
Someone laughed on Facebook. I wish they would chat and ask what they're laughing at. I don't know. Anyways, I'll call it all out. I don't care.
It's all bull. I agree. It's all bull.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about that, the whole concept of hell.
Yeah. What did they just say? They said it is with or without God. What do you mean by that? The Shogun. He laughed. I don't know why he laughed. But yeah, who knows?
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It just doesn't make sense.
Interesting. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. You gotta. As long as you gotta go to your source. When you hear a report about something, you have to go to the source. What's the source? Right. Where did it come from? You know what I'm saying? Like you hear a rumor about so and so going to be in the new X-Men movie or this and that. What's the source? And if it's a reliable source, great. But if it's not, you gotta kick it out. So, but that seems pretty reliable. And also, I read something where the idea of hell was basically a garbage dump outside of cities, but they would burn. They burn the garbage.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that before too.
Yeah, so it's like, and they took that and they transformed it. You know what I'm saying? It's fear, man. It's fear mongering. I hate that stuff, man.
If you were without God, you were gonna make this in the afterlife. That is the old way. How do you not be with God? Is what I want. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Or a version of that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you believe that you are a tendril of God. Like, look, I mean, I think it's folly to think that there is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is so calculated. Yeah, everything's so calculated. The life is so calculated. Everything is adapted to its environment. It's crazy. We're not as adapted, but
what do you think about the concept of if there is a God, right?
Like your dad was saying,
define God, and we could, like if there is a God, because God is really it's not a name. God is a thing.
The thing, it's an entity.
It's an entity,
right?
And is that entity just if science keeps being what science is, right? Like we know there's probably other universes. There's probably a multiverse. according to what science is saying now.
Mm.
Is there just one entity for all these multiverses, or is it just like, is it just you know what I'm saying?
Or is it different? If it's a different one for each one.
Yeah,
What is it?
and do they have to like make sure they keep like? How does that work?
Do they stay in their own lane or what?
Alan Watts gives a good explanation.
Does he? Do we have that one?
Okay.
Have you sent that one to me, Nathan? The next one we have is the Awakened ones. That's the next one we're gonna look at. But yeah,
Well, Alan Watts thought to me was like your being will always be like you're like his. That's what I kind of got from that last one. Like you're not a mistake. You're always gonna be a thing, and like you're part of a higher consciousness. But like,
right.
What does that mean for a multiverse? Because I was talking about it with somebody, and I was like, could it, in theory, if it's a multiverse in another universe, you could meet you again if you could travel that far? If you could travel to another do the universe with the multiverse, could you, in theory, find another Earth and, in theory, meet another you?
If it's a multiverse, is you're on Earth. Have you ever watched Dark Matter?
No, I've only watched Loki, and that's what always made me think about it.
Check out Dark Matter on Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus, man. And this, like, you're on Earth. Earth is occupying the same space and time, but just in a different
dimension,
basically. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a plural for different universe?
No, absolutely. It's a multiverse. It's a multiverse theory, and they're basically using quantum mechanics and zero point energy. Nathan White said, "I don't remember which video it was in, but he touches on it." And so, yeah, he does. Come to think of it, it's basically one consciousness that creates all the different different scenarios, right? The different scenarios.
In theory, wouldn't it be like? Yeah, like different. Like your life went this way in this path and that path.
Mm.
Your DNA might have changed a certain way in that way. In this instance of the dimension, like I don't know. I know I'm getting out on a tangent, but I'm like I feel like yeah. I don't know. That could be a thing. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Yeah, sorry. If ancient people had known what we know now, there would be no such thing as religion.
Yeah.
But then
it's twofold. It's
because like there would be wouldn't the religion at some point?
Is ancient people like how ancient are we going? Are we talking about this version of humanity? Are we talking before the Great Deluge? Are we talking before any of the different celestial events that have happened that have wiped mankind pretty much off of Earth? Like we think this is the fifth or sixth version of
if ancient people
civilization.
We know there will be no such thing as religion.
I think they do. Civilizations is becoming for us.
I agree with them, but I'm also like they would have to have something to explain to them things. I feel like he followed
up anything before BC.
Christ.
Before Christ. So we're talking.
It's a good thing.
Okay. Okay. So we're not going back. We're not going back when the Kemets built the pyramids and stuff like that, because I think they had a better idea of they were more advanced than we were.
So I can't rock. Okay. My brain doesn't work with that one. Well, but anything before, like so he's saying like anything before Christ, there would be like if we didn't have that, there'd be no religion.
Yeah, no, I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying.
You explain it to me.
The like know what we know now, the science that we have now, to take that back into, and we're not talking like we're not
okay,
we're not going to the Anunnaki, we're not going to the Sumerians, the Babylonians, and all that. But we're going with the information we have now, and they brought it to the people of BC, the people who are making the Tower of Babel. Let's just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe that was an advanced civilization. We don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. But this common knowledge of BC, if they knew what we know now, there wouldn't be religions. You know what I'm saying? Because of the science that we know. We know like the quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Just you can take this telescope and look light years away. You know what I'm saying? Into space and the unknown and all that. So like we know that the stars that we see in the sky aren't there. Most of them aren't even there anymore. There's new stars.
How do we get to here? Can we get to this understanding of science without religion?
Well, I don't know, because I see what you're saying. You're saying that it's paradoxical because science is going out of its way to prove religion.
Yeah.
In some cases, not all the time, but in some cases, it's going out of its way to prove.
No,
that.
I guess no, but not all the time. Not all. Like
not all the
H2O is not has nothing to do with religion. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get everything you're saying.
Yeah.
My brain couldn't get over the fact that you'd have to put that knowledge into ancient people. How would that get to that? How would that track?
Yeah. Like take this knowledge and take it to like King David, right? Or Daniel. Who killed the lion and the giant? Who was that?
If we were seeing if they were there.
If they are there, we've seen the word many years ago. Okay, David. Yeah, okay, David. So take what we know now and bring it back to when King David was around.
There wouldn't be any
religions.
Religion.
Okay, David. I
But
don't
then
I'm
saying Jesus wouldn't walk around?
No, I think they have a better understanding of who he was. You know what I'm saying?
There wouldn't be a Christian religion. There'd just be like this guy named Jesus. He'd be like Napoleon.
Maybe, or a hybrid of some
sort.
Not
Napoleon, that's a bad example. But like a Gandhi, like a
Gandhi, or
he had
Buddha.
talents. A Buddha. Is Buddha in our history books though? Yeah.
So Dad said we see stars as they were millions of years ago. Yes. Okay. Now, thank you. I thought that what you were saying, but I didn't want to put words in your mouth. So
Dad, what I'm asking is like we put we got TikTok, we got what we know now. Maybe not TikTok, but the know what we know now, right? And we have Jesus, and we have Alexander the Great. We have Buddha. Was Buddha BC? No, Buddha is definitely BC, right? Buddha's before Christian religion.
Yeah. Don't get me lying.
I'm just trying to think about it.
I don't know.
It would be so different. Like my brain can't deal with that right now.
It depends on it depends. Well, I think you can't have one without the other though. At the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to have people like that to push this forward. You know what I'm saying? To make this happen.
But could you imagine if we had the knowledge we have back then, and then you were talking about somebody named Buddha, some Joshua? Because we wouldn't even call him Jesus. His name wouldn't have been that.
No. I mean, he would have been deported. But that's besides the fact.
Would they even talk about the Greek mythology back then, Dad? If we knew what we knew now, would that be a conversation? But the Greek mythology is mentioned in the Bible. They mentioned these Greek, or at least these Greek gods in the Bible, the 4 horsemen. Those are Greek gods.
But it's not all about science, though. It's also about knowledge, like the Anunnaki, the ancient aliens, and and it's like if they knew that, well, these are just people who came from the stars.
They were wrenching the whole
But
podcast.
yeah, but there are people that's great. It's a nice range.
I
Like
did. My
these,
brain just like
yeah, these were beings who came down. These were alien beings, and they created man from hominids who were already walking Earth. Let's get to
there's
Nathan's
no proof Jesus
comment.
existed. There's no proof Jesus
Yeah.
existed. There's no proof that
So-
he would. Wait a second.
Hold on, let's do this real quick. So Buddha was around during the time of Jesus. He was better documented. Okay, so Jesus is better documented than Buddha, I believe, at least in
Buddha
the
was
Western
more
civilization.
Buddha was more documented.
Buddha was more documented. Oh, okay. And then Dad says there's no proof that Jesus ever existed.
I have seen things that said that suggest he was around. So
Billy Carson says that he went to his.
There's paintings of him
Mm,
in Roman structures.
nah,
That wasn't him.
You know who that is?
Who is that?
That is the. You talking about the white Jesus?
No, it was black. He was black, had an afro.
Oh, you talking about the one that the Russians found?
No, the Russians, and they found them in Roman camps.
Well, I don't know about that. No, that one I don't know. But the one that they show with the lover of the painter.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the white.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But
I guess there is no refutable data that Jesus. That's true. There is no this man walked. You know what I mean? We haven't found his bones. I guess that's true.
Yeah, because he resurrected.
But there's nothing there's other people we can trace. We can, right?
That's how they explain it. He was resurrected. He went
But
to
I'm
heaven.
saying, there's other
historical
figures we can.
Korean Jesus is the real. Whoa. Okay, that's
going
you
on.
opened up a whole nother can of worms on that one. You opened a whole can of worms. I don't know anything about that.
Okay, but he gave me great.
He can
the crux of what Dad said was if we knew what we knew now, there wouldn't be Christianity. And we're saying, but there's more documentation. There's documentation of all these things.
He said there would be religion.
Religion, sorry, period. But there's documentation of Buddha and of these Jesus hasn't been proved. There's documentation of him walking around. So what does that mean? What would that mean if we know what we know now?
Let's see. Oh, and Nathan White says he's trolling us.
What if us having the knowledge that we have now further prove these beings walk this planet?
What do you say? What's the proof that we have?
What would that do? Would that breed religion based on what we know, and that proved more that these guys did? It would be more factual based, right? Like we'd have more knowledge on who Jesus was, or would that just be another person that just did miracles in our history, and we found the science behind it?
That, or it could be the person never existed, or it could be that we're a cargo cult with a cargo religion.
That has never happened. We can find.
You know what I'm saying? We can find King Tut, but we can't find Jesus. King Tut is older than Jesus.
Yeah.
But again, he was resurrected. He arose from the grave.
I don't think he did.
And then he went away with like how Enoch went. Like Enoch went
that's true. Enoch
went to the heavens without dying.
So think about that. What if we know what we knew now with those beings being around, with Enoch, and are we just saying that the Bible never happened if we knew what we know now?
Oh, definitely not.
So there's no story of Enoch. There's no story of
it's another myth.
Three myth. Oh man.
Well, here's the thing. And you can't let that break your reality because
it doesn't really.
Because they've made Norse religion mythology. They've made Roman religion mythology. They've made Greek religion mythology. They've made Egyptian religion mythology. They've made all this stuff into mythology. It's like it's a myth. Well, who's to say Christianity is not a myth?
No, I agree with that. But also, there's mentions of those gods in biblical texts and some theorized conversations. So it's all kind of like, was it all made up, or was it all like if we knew what we knew now, it wouldn't be all jumbled up like we know if we knew what we know now. It'd be like, oh, clearly we were from the Anunnaki, and this is what really happened. This is what really happened because we had the knowledge. Like some way we were blessed with the knowledge. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be all this religion. It'd be like, nah, this is what happened. We came from this.
It would make more sense. It would make more sense, and there's truth to every myth.
Then there wouldn't be.
There's truth to every lie.
So then would there be conflict? If we knew what we knew, there wouldn't be conflict. There wouldn't be this argument that we always overarching argument about where we came from.
I mean, I think the controlling powers know what's up. They already know it's a trap. Like,
but we don't know. Like
Admiral
yeah.
If it becomes a myth, then the truth is lost. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why it becomes mythology. Roman religion becomes mythology. You got these gods because in a lot of these mythologies, these new gods taking over their perennial gods. What was it? Zeus, he took out Kronos and the Titans. You know what I'm saying? The Romans took out a version of that. The Norse gods are taking out. They have giants. You know what I'm saying? They have titans. So let's see here. The Gospels were written at least 1,000 years after Jesus was dead. They never knew Jesus. Absolutely not. Exactly. That's just like somebody writing the gospel about Martin Luther King 1,000 years from now. Martin Luther King is already a deity now, and that wasn't that long ago. That's in our parents' lifetime. Martin Luther King is a deity now. And what is that? What that's less than when was he assassinated?
Easy 50 years.
It's 70 years now. 70 years.
He died in 60 something. So yeah, 50 years. 50
yeah, yeah, no,
so
years. Yeah. Oh, you said 100
man.
years.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Dad. I messed it up. I read it wrong because I'm not wearing my glasses. Yeah, you said 100 years, not 1,000.
I don't really get off it, but I'm just kind of like, if we knew what we know now, I don't know if there would be all this like rhetoric. I think all this like, oh, I don't know where I came from. I don't know that. Like you would know because like we would have peer reviewed studies on this stuff about like, oh no, we came from here. This is the true source. And then so what would that bring?
MLK was 70 years. Yeah, about 70 years. So Elvis, so is Elvis, but no one talks about that. Yeah, a Pac is. I'm telling you, man. In 100 years, Pac is going to be a deity. I'm telling you, he is. All right, y'all. We got a bunch. I think we can save these, and let's get into We'll bring these next one, Gang for the Gang, into the next show.
Got me thinking, man. Like, if we knew what we knew now, man, could you imagine if they had a drip of ounce of knowledge of what we know now?
Right. I'll be back.
Technology-wise?
I got you the facility. I'll be back.
Are we doing
skip to cap or no cap?
Are we doing cap or no cap? Let me pull the banner up here. If I can cap or no cap. Here, let's go. All right, so we'll go to cap or no cap. Yeah, I'm sorry, that kind of got me stuck a little bit. Dylan's still alive. People stream as such. At the deity, Dylan's from Minnesota. You can look back just 100. Yeah, that's crazy. So they wrote the Bible 100 years after his death, and then had no idea who he was. That's what they've heard. Yeah, man. All right, we'll start. Let's do Capital Cat. We'll start off. This one's called Beto. It's from Unate, I believe. Beto. see what they are talking about. Hopefully, I have volume. All right, let's rock.
Photos that keep me up at night, part 5. This photo was posted to Facebook with the caption, "Taken out of McDonald's. We thought our daughter was alone in this playground at the time. The face on the left was not visible at the time I took this. When she was asked who was next to her in the pic, she replied, 'That's my imaginary friend Beto.' Yeah. Hi, Beto. It's crazy how you can see her legs here, but there's no legs under Beto. What do you make of this one? Follow for more creepy real photos. Creepy real photos that keep me up at
Thanks, Nate.
Nate.
Thanks for that, Nate. Did we get to these? Did we get to
I don't think I put Dad's up. I did put
what's
Nate's
on there?
up, but you can look
You
back.
can look back
Yeah,
up on it. Yeah.
that's
Yep.
creepy. Yeah. She has a
Beto.
lot.
Beto's wow. Yeah, she does
She
have
has
a
a
lot.
lot of good ones. I have a few I think on here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do the next one too, just
Okay.
because I'm already at it. So this one's from Nate as well, and it's called. Oh, sorry, didn't ask you guys. Cap or no cap? What y'all think?
Yeah. What do you guys think? Is
I'm
that
just
real
moving
or not?
on.
Yeah, is that real? I
Cap
think
or
it's
no?
no cap.
I think it's real. I think that's no cap.
Give it a no cap.
Creepy.
Yeah. What y'all think, chat? What y'all think? Now, I know Shell is watching. She just probably fell asleep.
I'm
all right.
saying no cap.
Yeah, no cap. Okay, go
That's
ahead and play the
basic.
next one while everybody's catching up.
Yeah.
Let's say, what did Dad say?
Dad is laugh. I'm proud of myself for
I
not
think-
swearing like I used to, man.
Okay.
I've been working on myself.
Yeah, you use the King's language. Use the King's language.
Growth, man. All right, this one's called Shadow Chasing. That's a crazy name.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what they're saying.
Hey man, y'all check out across the street. Watch this light come on before this nigga come in my yard. Watch this. Y'all try to explain this to me. Look at the light come on, y'all.
I already see it.
Look at that shadow right there. Look, what the fuck is that? Look, y'all. Y'all see that? He's just stopped right there. Look. Now here come Buddy. Look. Look at that across the street. Look. Why
And the shadow's in black, and he's in white.
across the street? Look.
The infrared
What
camera.
the fuck
type.
is that? Why would he take off running? Why that thing chase him? Hey man, y'all check out across the street.
Your
Watch
face.
this light come on before.
Your face.
That is crazy.
Yo.
What y'all think? They don't play the next wave from Emmy's bathroom. What y'all think? But that's crazy.
That's wild work. That's wild work. So dude, so you gotta look like I don't know, like your cameras or whatever. So anything that's wearing black, when you switch the view, it'll make it look white. And vice versa. So you can see it at night or whatever. So yeah, that's wild. So Pop says that is a person across the street. Okay, that's a person across the street. But why did it pop up like that? Why is it kind of transparent? And is it wearing white colors? Because it's coming up in black, which is crazy. If you're gonna commit a crime, why would you wear? Because obviously you're stealing from his vehicle. Why would you wear white where you stand out? I don't know. Dad says cap. Of course he says cap. Of course he says cap. I don't know what that is. It moves like a person. It's not like it looked ethereal by any, imagination or anything like that. It didn't look ethereal. It looked like it was walking like a regular person, but was it wearing white?
I know he did not
Disregard.
say cap to that.
He said cap.
I know for a fact that didn't say cap to that.
He said
You
cap.
go ahead. You go ahead and be out there and rob him that thing behind you.
Nathan says
Cap.
no cap. They said no
Come
cap.
on, Pop. Come on, man. That was crazy.
He's not gonna believe nothing. He's like random red. Probably cat. Is it a cat? Because the thing was pretty tall.
It was shadowy, man. What?
But it was not moving like an ethereal spirit, but a lot of times they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes they don't.
yeah. So yeah,
I'm not playing with it.
Yeah. All right. All right. So next one comes from Nate as well.
Nate over being MVP.
Well, yeah, I actually had time to go through my Instagram. I'm not popping right any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes I just forget to go through my Instagram messages or whatever. So I was able to go through them, and Nathan had some really good ones that he put in there for me. So that's pretty dope. I appreciate it. All right, so check this out. It's called We See You, Bro.
Excuse me. Are you back there again?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
And there he is.
I rock with it.
That's fair.
Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay.
Did you see it go?
Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud.
Yeah.
Everyone can see you in their reflection.
Yeah, I've seen this one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But that's pretty creepy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just let it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving.
Hey, check this out.
That's enough for today.
You that laughing?
Yeah.
That was creepy.
Excuse me. Are you?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I can't explain the shadow. The reflection.
I could see that being Cap, but yeah, I can't explain the reflection and then move it in there. They could have had a really good cut, but I'm gonna say for fun, no Cap.
No Cap? You're going no Cap?
Yeah.
I'm going with no Cap as well, because I like to go no Cap. I done seen some stuff, and I know some stuff too, but man, I don't know, man. These videos are getting me. This should be looking real.
That was kind of creepy. All right.
They be looking real.
Do you want to play the next one?
Yeah, I play it.
All right.
So the next one is called Himalayan Salt. I don't know how much stock I put into this, but I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to get y'all opinion on it as well.
Is it like a no Cap or like a? What?
It's a little bit of both.
Oh,
Nathan White says no Cap. Been in similar situations. Okay. All right. I'm with that. Can anyone explain why he happens to be rolling tape?
You can't show people that's been going on in his house.
Yeah.
That's the belief.
And it started by turning the water on, right?
Yeah, but I agree. I'm not someone who would turn my phone camera on if I had a ghost. I'd be like, oh, and then, just get up and walk out the house. Like, hey.
Well, but it's the opposite argument because sometimes you see stuff, they'll tell you a story, and how come nobody caught it on video?
And that's what he's about. Exactly.
Right. But this guy, he caught it on video, so I don't know. He had the wherewithal to turn the video on. I wouldn't either. You ain't seen nan one of my ghosts. You ain't seen one. Because I'm not
believe.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm doing is turning on my camera, man. I'm trying to move around. So, all right. So this one is called Himalayan Salt, and let's see here. I'll share my screen. So this is more so a conspiracy theory. What y'all think about this?
These salt mines are dead giants. Y'all cannot tell me these salt mines are not dead giants. Bruh, this looks like chunks of meat. Are y'all kidding me right now? This looks like bacon or pork chops. This is salt from the mine. This looks like blood. Look at it. Look. This looks like the inside of a body. Look at it. Look at it. Bro, they're all just petrified bodies from giants.
Good point.
Look at the resemblance if it started to become petrified over time. Look at it. Look at this one.
Look closer.
This one looks like a woman.
That one's crazy. I've seen that one
Look,
before.
they all over the world.
Yeah.
Humanoid looking entities
Surreal.
that are in the shape of mountains and islands and caves. Just look at this one. This is the original image. This is what it originally looks like. Then when you flip it to the side, it looked like a body. Look! You think it's talking humanoids? Nope. This is like a big ass snake, a big ass petrified snake. It still got the scales. They call this Gorilla Island. Bruh, look at that big ass gorilla.
That's crazy.
Look,
That's King Kong,
look
baby.
at it. It's all over the world. Look at that elephant. Look at that
The
turtle.
cat in the
Oh
song.
my
Okay,
God.
is it?
This world is a lie. The whole thing is a lie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these salt mines are dead giants.
Why
Y'all
is
can
he
tell me.
screaming?
Why is he screaming?
That's a good point, Dad. Why is he screaming?
He tried
I
to
don't
get your
know,
attention.
man.
Ah, man, it's cat.
I think it's cat, but I think there are some petrified things that look like giant humans and giant animals for sure. So I don't know.
That thing looked like a giant ape. I don't care what nobody says. It looked like
There is
giant
a
ape.
giant snow lady though, or like mountain range that looks like that. That mountain range is real.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. We'll
Damn.
look it up. But this one's called a wifey.
Wifey.
You're my wifey.
Living by me, take the life behind me, smoking up on the love, only one, 'cause you're my wifey. Alright.
Alright, man believes his wife ghost is haunting him. He captured on what he captured on his home CCTV. This isn't CCTV, so right away, if y'all say cap, I can understand that.
It's a quick update because I got to get to work.
Yeah.
Got up this morning to get my coffee. I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up because
Is it loud?
Doing renovations. I
I
replaced
can
all
hear
this stuff. This
Doesn't seem loud.
dishwasher, the stove, the oven hood there. But this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open. And then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely.
Sorry, it is CCTV. Okay, my bad.
Anything else gonna happen? Okay. Oh, I see it. Oh, okay. Oh.
Morning, guys. This is just
Baby
a
bro.
quick update because I got to get to work.
Baby bro, come on, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna say no cap. Look, man, that's not your wife. Your wife wouldn't be throwing
Definitely not your wife.
your chairs around. You need to go ahead and put a for sale sign up and get up and out of there. Like, I don't know why you think that's your dead wife.
He said bump that. He said bump the exorcism, the blessing, put the for sale sign.
Yeah, it's time to go. Your wife passed on. Time for a new life and a new home.
He said that is not your wife.
That's not your wife.
He said that's not your wife.
Who would consider that?
Man.
Oh, that's just my dead wife. She throws chairs like just for why? What'd you do to her when she was alive?
Right. Yeah, why she doing that?
Throwing chairs around. That's
Oh
not
god.
good.
No, not good at all. Hey, let's skip the next one. Haunted Dollhouse, because that's a long ass video.
Okay.
So
all right.
we'll keep that for another time.
Okay.
We got more time. I'm gonna go to Don't Pick Up Strangers.
Okay.
What y'all think, man? What y'all think in there? Let's see here.
Cat, but
Nathan White said no cap. You said you're gonna say cap?
I'm gonna say no cap, sorry, but like that's not your wife.
Is that your wife?
Cap, that's not
Okay, I'm with that too.
She's too mad.
Way too mad. Like, maybe you have a girlfriend and she is pissed.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I can see the shell will come back.
You better move. He's throwing chairs.
She can follow you. That's
Nah.
Daddy Red and Rick. Cap.
She's not following me. We're going to this.
Oh,
next
man. Why don't you just bless that house?
Man, I don't know. That thing's powerful. That thing is throwing chairs. It can definitely choke you out. I'm good.
If it can throw a chair, it can choke you out.
Yeah.
All right. So if it's cap, what is it? Like what? Did they make that up?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. All right. So we'll move on to the next one. Next one is don't pick up strangers, like I said previously. So I'm getting to the video now. All right, so we'll say, it's said you should never stop for anybody at night. So let's get it.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Oh my bad.
Run that back. Definitely cap, but very entertaining.
Cap, that was crazy.
Very
that
entertaining.
Second look definitely, confirms the cap. But
yeah, that jacked me. That's a fishing line. They move the chair like that with some fishing line. I don't know. Oh no. Possibly.
What y'all think?
Come on.
That was cap. Definitely cap.
Okay.
Oh man, that was creepy though.
It was creepy as shit. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh wow, that's I didn't
wild."
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, none of that. None of that looked cool to me. Let's see. Cap. It was one of those girls in the back seat. Yeah. You already know. Oh, sorry, Kobe. Good try, but Cap definitely.
Yeah. All right, this one's called what the hell is that?
Okay.
All right, what the hell is that?
Yeah, ghosts definitely don't wear red. That's facts.
Right.
Wrong with this picture. Picture behind me was captured in 2019 by a real estate agent who was doing a sweep of a home before a viewing. What I got from the story, the house is out in a rural part of Mississippi, somewhere in Webster County. If you look at a street view of this place, it is desolate on this road. There's not a lot going on. Real estate agent had gone through the house and said that she was hearing things coming from the basement and she wasn't sure if it was an animal. She opened the door to the top of the stairs of the basement. She just started taking these pictures to send to her boss, but it was her boss who noticed something in the background. You zoom in, very faint and in the dark, you can see what looks like a person who's kneeling in the crack of that doorway down there. She didn't stick around in the house long enough to actually see this person. It is only captured in this photo, and there was no additional evidence of them in the home after.
Crazy.
Please don't forget, if you are looking for more creepy content, go check out my podcast, The Sinister. Can you tell me what you think might be wrong with this picture? Picture behind me was captured in 2019 by a real estate agent who was doing a sweep of a home before a viewing. What I got from the story.
Hold up, yeah. Let me see if I can.
Do you lighten it? Probably not.
Let's look on here real quick. Let's try to see if y'all can see
house
it.
is out in a rural part of Mississippi, somewhere in Webster County. If you look at a street view of this place, it is desolate on this road. There's not a lot going on. Real agent had gone through the house and said that she was hearing things coming from the basement and she wasn't sure if it was an animal. She opened the door to the top of the stairs of the basement. She just started taking these pictures to send to her boss, but it was her boss who noticed something in the background. You zoom in.
You see it?
Is that an eye?
Yeah, that's the eye, the nose, the mouth, shoulders are right here. All right, let's see if we can do a better view.
Very
Play all the way.
in the
Oh,
dark,
yeah.
you can
Oh,
see
yeah,
what looks like a
yeah, yeah,
person
yeah, I can
who's
see it.
kneeling
Got
in
the
the
knees
crack
right
of that
there.
doorway down there. She didn't stick around.
Mm.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Into the house long enough to actually see this person. It is only captured in this photo, and there was no additional evidence of them in the home after this was taken. Please don't forget if
It could be a doll. Now you think about it, it could just be like a mannequin.
See, Nathan White says no cap. This could be a very old basement. There's no cap. If they'd been in Mississippi and all, yeah.
But it could be like a mannequin. I hope that's what I'm hoping it is. If you could see it though, it's like a pale skinned woman sitting there, and they have like blacked out eyes.
Yeah.
And now that I say that, I've never seen a mannequin with eyes.
That's no cap. That's no
And
cap.
what is it a person?
No, it's an entity. It's not a person. Might be a ghost. Might be a ghost. Might be a demon.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pop said
Even Dad said no
Mississippi is
cap.
haunted, so I'll get this likely.
Did y'all
no cap.
see it
Yeah.
down there? Give me a. I mean, they must have. They're saying okay. That was weird. I don't know what
Yeah.
that thing was.
Yeah, you look close. Yeah, Mississippi and Alabama. And Louisiana. Those places are haunted as and New England. New England's bad too. Let's see, the lady didn't notice it according to the narrator, yeah. No, she was just flashing pictures. But she heard it.
I never want that to happen to me. Like, I never want to be like in a picture with somebody and they'll be like, "Hey, what's that behind you?" I never want that. I'm sure it might have happened to me, but I never want to be the point out.
Yeah. Yeah, Shell had that. I wish we still had the pictures, but we don't have them anymore. But
it's terrible.
We got that. Yeah. All right. So
we'll got 2 more. The show's just it's been 2 hours. Okay.
Yep. All right, so we got next one called Lady in the Woods. Let's check this out.
Be Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 4. This photo was posted to Reddit and was taken on a digital camera when OP and her friends were hiking in New Hampshire. They were looking back through their photos and they noticed something weird. This person's obviously supposed to be there. That guy up there is supposed to be there, but who is that? OP went
that's creepy.
to the photo that she had ever taken with the camera to verify that it wasn't just a portion of another photo that's superimposed over this one, but she couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
She posted the EXIF
They built
files
old
to Reddit
houses
to
on
prove that it wasn't photoshopped. She was constantly looking for answers, but
That is creepy as
That's creepy as
all of her more
get
creepy
out.
real photos.
Oh my
Real photos
God.
that keep me up at night.
What do you think, cap or no cap?
They were whistling in the woods, no cap.
That's a no cap.
Yeah,
That's no cap.
They were whistling. All right. This last one is called Weird.
What y'all think in the
sorry.
chat? And I know Nathan has experience with this stuff. So, all right. Okay, you got the next.
No, I actually want to hear what people say. What y'all think? My bad. I was rushing it. Yeah.
You good?
Go ahead, bro.
Cap again?
This guy. No fun.
It was that was like the photo Nate sent me. That was crazy.
I didn't think Nate would say that, but okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Hey, I deleted that photo off my phone.
Yeah.
It gave me the shivers. So
yeah, he's like, I only share it with you. So
yeah, deleted that.
Yeah.
Not tonight. Yeah, yeah, that was creepy. But yeah, that's a cat. So don't whistle in the woods, Dad.
Don't whistle in the woods. Dad, you ever seen anything in the woods? You used to play out in the woods back in the day?
Mom has a really good story. We gotta do a bro. We are tripping. We gotta do a psych with his mom and dad. They
Yeah,
got
there
a
we
bunch
go.
of ghost stories.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I
send
can
it
show
to
Dad
him.
that. Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, I can show it to him.
So the last one is called I called it Weird Times in Gettysburg.
Dad said nobody felt stuff. Ooh.
Dad got a pretty good story
Ooh.
about him and in the house he grew up in was haunted.
Man, that house was crazy haunted.
All right, this is called Weird Times in Gettysburg. Let's check it out.
Dad and his friends took a trip to Gettysburg. Devil's Den. Okay.
What the?
What is it? Oh. That's a person. That's a person. Nick said I whistled in the woods before the photo was taken. Yeah, he did. Yep. He whistled in the woods to try to keep bears away from him.
That's a person, Rashad?
That turned out bad for him. Huh?
Can I run? You think that's a? I'm gonna run that back. You think that's
What's
a
a
person?
person? Oh, it's definitely a person.
What the hell looks like that? Sorry, y'all.
What
person? What person looks like that? What person looks like that? Look at how tall these guys are compared to what the person who walked in from nowhere.
Okay, let me expand my
looked
screen.
like. Hold on, let me zoom in. Let me see what it looks like on it. All right, let me do this.
Like a kid.
It doesn't have a face.
But neither do they. Can you zoom in on their faces?
Oh, yeah, you got a good point. But he didn't zoom in on their face. He's zooming on his. Nah, man. I don't know what the hell that is. That's like a leprechaun. I don't know what is that.
That's a cat.
Yeah, y'all can have that. Y'all go to Gettysburg and go find that man. Yeah, that human with no face.
He was taking a leap behind the tree. He was taking a leap.
He was part of the crew.
Yeah, part of the camera crew. So Danger White says, "No cap. I went to a makeshift hospital from the Civil War, and there was some creepy shit that went on, and the curator verified my experience once I told him about what happened."
Nate,
what the hell happened?
Can you please explain? There was blood from the floor from the. What was that? That thing? Did that thing look human to you, Nate?
There were blood things still on the floor from the damn.
That thing had on overalls that walked like a human. That was not a human.
I don't know, like a human to me.
Oh, good luck.
Maybe you go. I ain't going. I'm not going to subject myself to that.
Good luck. If you ever see somebody like that, have fun. Like, oh yeah, I saw the man with no face the other day. Yeah, he was a human.
It looked like it was a kid taking a leak behind the.
Okay.
Taking a leak behind the thing.
Oh man,
we'll do haunted dog. That's crazy. They still have blood stains there though. Man, that's wild work. That's wild work. That they still have blood stains there. That's not sanitary. That's not sanitary at all.
Whew, that creeped me out. I've been doing pretty good at not swearing, and then I look at me.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, man.
Swearing a few times.
Have you been lectured lately?
No. I
just cursing.
I just felt bad.
Okay, that's good.
I'm going to Deathville. Go. You both go check it out. Go take a picture.
You gotta go to Devil's Den.
I'm not going. You can go. You and Dad can go.
I'll go to Devil's Den.
Go find the man with the overalls.
And you look like he had overalls on. Oh man. Well, y'all, that was another fun show. Chat was lit, so we appreciate that. This was a fun show to do. It was something nice to get our minds off of the Timberwolves getting blown out.
Yeah.
Not going to the finals. Kobe don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's talk about it.
I don't know what's going on. So, tell me what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I gotta add some drops. I'm trying to add some drops to our show. I'll like say it, but I don't think anybody knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah. Wolves are bad. That's all I can say.
So we did have an old conversation. Just get this from my end like last time. Let's set up when it works for everyone. Yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
I'm always free to a side quest. So
Kobe always free. I'm not always free, but Kobe Kobe gets to be home every night. I know. Dad said, "Show me some ghosts next. Show me some ghosts next time." Show me some ghosts. I tell you what, we might have to go down to that hotel in Aniston.
Yeah, that one was definitely haunted.
Let's see what we can find, man. Yeah. Thank you for all you do. Hey, thank you for joining, man.
Thank you
Great
for joining.
Safe and be well. You too, brother.
So I think this week will be fun. I think next week will be a little iffy for Rashad and me. We'll figure it out.
We'll be good.
And the week prior but I'll be home actually Sunday morning. So
June's gonna be tough.
I can rock out the show. Well, let me know, Rashad. I don't like doing it by myself. I can. Yeah. We can figure it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely show him. Yeah, I'll definitely show him. Thanks, Nathan.
But
he's gonna find that. Wow. Yeah, we'll get it done. June's gonna be tough. We got a pretty full dance card. June and early July. They have
July's gonna be tough.
4th of July weekend is going to be tough, but we'll try to make it happen. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate it, man.
What if we took it on the road? We could take it on the road.
We could take it on the road. Me and Pops talked about that.
I don't know how we're going to do that.
We're on site. We can do that. If we do, we have to do it on the free day, 4th of July.
Yeah. We can do it on the free day. That'd be kind of dope. I can bring my camera.
Yeah.
We can just set up shop.
Yeah. Top first show. Yeah.
That'd be dope. We got the kinfolk around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got me thinking.
Might be able to make it happen.
Might make that happen.
Yeah, might be able to make that happen. I got the my podcasting my roadcaster, so we can use that. I got 2 mics, so we can talk about it offline.
That'd be great. It's up and offline.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, we'll get that figured out. Thanks for joining us tonight. Y'all could be doing anything, but I'm so happy. It's kind of feels like the wrap up of my weekend to do this with y'all. So like, I kind of enjoy it. Kind of put a good, bow on my weekend is doing this show. So
same.
I appreciate y'all joining. Appreciate y'all engaging. And yeah, we'll keep it going.
We'll keep it running. Please like and subscribe. Tell all your friends. Nathan, we definitely got a link. And Kobe, what's the most important thing that you want to tell folks before we jump up out of here?
Take care of yourself. Have a good week. And do not whistle at night. And do not whistle in the woods. I'm telling you.
Don't do it. With that, we out. Peace.
Giants.
People who came from the sky.
Yeah.